And welcome into the program. This is your Course to Retirement with Grand Rapids resource for a common sense approach to planning for our financial investment and retirement future. He is certified financial planning professional Ron Courser, CFP, founder of Cornerstone Retirement Partners. And Ron, always bringing up the topics that we need to know and pay attention to on the financial world. Today, no exception. We've got what is rather disturbing news, but also sort of a reconfirmation of what we've already been told, just further confirmation that the Social Security system and the Social Security Trust Fund are in trouble. Sir, what do we need to know about the future of Social Security?
Well, hello, Peter, and hello, everybody listening to today's program. This is Ron Courser with Cornerstone Retirement Partners. We're going to talk about Social Security in a couple of ways to think about it in terms of your retirement planning, even if you're already in retirement. So if you have questions on this program or any of the ideas that we share with you, give us a call at 616-301-2581. That's 616-301-2581, or please go to our website, www.cornerstone-rp.com. It's www.cornerstone-rp.com. You can put your information in there, and also this will end up on our website in a few days once it cleared the powers that be. So let's talk about Social Security. With everything going on in the world today, I search for ways to say, here's some really good news that'll make you feel good. And sometimes it's easier to find than other times. And perhaps talking about Social Security right now is maybe one of those things that's the last thing you really want to deal with. But there are some changes coming to Social Security. We just don't know what they are. And unfortunately, it's a political football. So we're going to talk about Social Security, what's going on right now based on the latest report, and then some things that you might think about doing in your own retirement planning if you're not retired, or even if you already are retired and collecting Social Security. This is going to be good information. And what I tell people, and I always start with this story. I live in Michigan. I've lived in Michigan most of my life. When I was a young kid, I was raised by my grandparents, lived in Pennsylvania. We went through all four seasons. When winter came, it was unbelievable. I got a good buddy in this business that lives in a place called Laguna Beach, California. It is gorgeous. It is absolutely beautiful. It's one of the few places where people say, why do you live in California? It's the weather and the location. Man, I get it. Even the hired help that comes and cleans everybody's houses, they're all wearing Rolexes and they show up in a Cadillac Uber when they come to work. So it's a high-end district. It really is. And he looks at me like, boy, you're a knuckle dragger, Ron. You're living in a place where you can get 20 inches of snow overnight. And I said, yeah, we can. But you know what we do in Michigan is we're aware of the changes going on around us, and we respond accordingly. What do I mean by that? Well, here we are coming into spring, and hopefully spring has sprung and we won't get any more snow, but we never really know that for sure. But we know eventually spring will be here, summer will be here, it'll be wonderful. Fall will come. Michigan is really gorgeous in the fall. Football season's going to be here, it'll be wonderful. But then somewhere around the 1st of November, the idea that winter's coming really smacks us right in the eye. And he thinks, why do you live here? And I said, well, we prepare for it. And it's like anything else in life. If you know it's coming and you prepare, you're going to be okay. So we prepare. I'm not preparing right now for winter, but I will as the seasons go by and we get into the fall season. There's a process we follow to get ready for winter, and we always prepare for the worst. Why? Because if we prepare for the worst and it doesn't happen, well, that's a pretty good thing, isn't it? But if we prepare for the worst and it does happen, then we're going to be prepared and we won't be harmed as much. So he kind of understands that, but he's a California boy, surfer dude. He's never going to comprehend what we go through here, but, I still call him a friend and love him dearly. So think about this. We have information coming at us all the time about all kinds of different things. From the people who say the world's coming to an end, repent, to other people who say, you know what, sell everything you have, buy gold bullion, and head for the hills. And we have everything in between. So let's talk about something that I'm going to put right in the middle of these two extremes. And that's called the most recent report for the Social Security system. And I think it's an eye-opener, and we need to be aware of it, because if we know what's coming down the road, we can prepare. So what did the report say? The most recent report said that by the year 2033, the Social Security system will only have enough money in it to pay 77% of the benefits. Now, 2033 is significant because last year they said 2034. So it's getting closer. It's 10 years away. And if they say they're only going to have money to pay 77% of the benefits, what that tells me is there's some changes coming. Now, let's kind of go through a little stream of memory and things like that and talk about what might that mean. Number one, if you're collecting Social Security right now, does that mean your Social Security benefit is going to be cut? I'm going to bet that the answer to that is no. Why? Because most people on Social Security vote. And when you vote, you're not going to vote for some guy who says, I'm going to cut your Social Security payments. So I'm thinking that for those of us in the Social Security system, it's not going to change. But what might change is the folks that aren't in the system, particularly those 50 and under, and they can make some changes in the system. But it's going to happen. So will they cut benefits? I don't think so, but it's always possible. What are some of the other options? Well, let's talk about what they might do. They could increase full retirement age from, say, where it is now, around 67 to 70. For those of you who are probably 60 and above, it's not going to impact you. They could also take away the income limits on where they charge Social Security. Now that, you know, there's a certain income above which they don't charge it, they could just say, you know what, everybody makes $1. Even if you're a billionaire, you're going to pay into the system. Those two items alone would help bring a little bit of stability to the Social Security system. But we're in a political season right now, so nobody's going to do anything except accuse the other side of wanting to take away your Social Security benefits. Please don't listen to them. Please don't get angry when you hear that. Please just blow it off as hot air in a political season. So what else could they do? Well, they could say, down the road, your entire Social Security benefit is going to be included in income and be taxable. Those are reasonable things that could happen. We wouldn't get too angry with them, but they're easy to do, and it would help stabilize the Social Security system. Now, will all those power-hungry psychopaths in Washington do that? I have no idea. But these are some of the things that might happen. But what's important to us in this discussion is, what are we going to do about it? No matter what those psychopaths in Washington, D.C. do, there's going to be some changes. So how does that impact us, and what should we do? And ladies and gentlemen, those listening out here, clients, if you want to talk more about this, give me a call at 616-301-2581, or talk to Nolan, our managing partner here. Give us a call, 616-301-2581. We can have what I think is a really important discussion on how do we manage what may be coming down the road, even though we don't know all the specifics, but we know something's going to happen. And it's a good conversation to have now rather than wait until January 1st, 2033 to see what we should do. So give us a call again at 616-301-2581. We can talk about this whole Social Security system, what it means to you in retirement, what it means to you if you're not yet retired, but you have to plan for it. So let's go forward with this. So we've talked about the options. What do I think they'll do? I have no idea, but they'll probably do all three of the above and maybe even more. There's too many people on Social Security, and some people, that's all they have. So the idea that they're going to cut benefits, no. But what they might do is do some magic behind the scenes, you know, like the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain, and say, well, we're not going to touch your dollar amount, but we're going to tax it more. We're going to do other things to help make up the deficit. So that'll happen. So here we are today talking about How are we going to deal with this? What should we do? It's 10 years away. Ron, should I even worry about it? Yeah, I think you should. Should you obsess worry about it? No. Should you have a conversation with us about what we might do or might not do? Yeah, I think it's important, particularly for those of you who are 5 to 10 years away from retirement, because you're going to run right into this in 2033. Maybe by 2033, it's going to be 2032 or 2031. But we're going to run right into it. So what can we do? I got some ideas. Here's some things we might think about. Number one, if you are not retired, but you think about retiring, say, in the next 5 to 10 years, call us and allow us to create an income plan for you. An income plan that takes everything you have now. If you have a pension, Social Security benefits projected, all your life savings, and figure out how much money you can take out of all of those places to maintain your lifestyle, because that's what retirement's about. It's about maintaining your lifestyle so you can do some things. So number one, call us and help us create an income plan for you, even if you're 10 years away from retirement, to kind of figure out where is the money going to come from? What accounts every month coming into my checkbook? If you have a pension, that's wonderful. You know, maybe the pension is secure as it should be, but it's there. What kind of Social Security benefits are you looking at whenever you decide to take Social Security? And how much life savings have you accumulated? And how much rational income can we get out of that? And what kind of investment strategies do you have that'll help you do that? So that's the first thing we can look at. What might you also consider? Here's something, please don't shut me down when I say this four-letter word. You might want to consider, is an annuity an appropriate kind of an account to consider in creating an income plan? Now, there's all kinds of annuities. Some are better than others from my point of view, but an annuity does something that nothing else can do in your TD Ameritrade, Schwab account, investment accounts. It can provide you guaranteed income for as long as you live, like a pension plan or Social Security might. So it's really important. So looking at all the options in this retirement plan gives you the best possibility of being successful. So if some of what I've already said is important, you want to talk more about it, give us a call here at Cornerstone Retirement Partners, 616-301-2581, 616-301-2581. Ask to speak with me or set up a time to meet with me, Ron Corser, or our managing partner here at Cornerstone Retirement Partners, Nolan Gosley. We will help you. We do this all the time with clients. I think we're pretty good at showing you the different options and different approaches to take. So that's one thing to do. The second thing is to consider creating Roth IRA accounts, either in a 401k or 403b plan, or on your own with a Roth conversion strategy. What is a Roth account? It's an account where you put after-tax money into it, either through an employer-sponsored plan or on your own, and it grows tax-deferred, but the earnings come out tax-free along with any other principal you take out. It's kind of like a tax-free account after you paid some taxes to put money in. Why do I suggest that's important to look at? Because particularly if you're 5 or 10 years away from retirement, oh man, what a wonderful option you have to create tax-free income. Because think about this, to fully fund Social Security, one of the things that they don't like to talk about, these psychopathic politicians, forgive me for calling them then, but I read an article about it that said, yep, they all qualify, because they're going to have to raise taxes somehow, some way, not only pay for this, but also pay into the Medicare system and everything else we owe everybody in the whole world. So it's pretty likely that taxes will go up. So that means if taxes go up, right now, we're in a pretty low tax environment, maybe the lowest we'll ever be. But to have more tax-free money down the road, 5 or 10 years from now, if you haven't retired, would be absolutely critical to give you the best possibility, the best outcome of maintaining your lifestyle in a higher or increasing tax world. If you're already retired, you still have an opportunity to do this through Roth conversion strategies, which still will make some sense for some people. So that's something to consider. If you're already retired and you're 70 or older, particularly when it comes to taking out a required minimum distribution out of your IRA, which is now age 73 as opposed to 72, you might want to consider something more and more of our clients are doing, and that's using a qualified charitable deduction strategy to minimize your tax bill. What does that mean? Let's say after you're 70, you can give up to $100,000 away to any charity of your choice, as long as it's a 501c3 company. If you're a tither for church, you can actually tithe your money to the church using a qualified charitable deduction. What does it do? It basically says that money is not going to be included in your taxable income, and you can give it away to everybody you want. This is a particularly effective strategy when you're dealing with required minimum distributions out of your IRA. So that's another potential option, but it's built into your income plan. The income plan is really key when it comes to talking about this. So what else can we do? Well, we can think about how much income are we really going to need? And what do I mean by that? Let's think about the biggest expenses in retirement. What are they? One is taxes. Taxes are going to be a big expense. It's just another bill in your life. The second one is healthcare costs. When you get to be 65, you get to be in the Medicare program if you choose. It's been estimated that a couple retiring at 65, living to about 83, is going to spend somewhere around $250,000 to $300,000 on healthcare costs. That does not include going into a long-term care facility. That's just paying all the bills and everything that healthcare has. So we've got a lot of this stuff going on. And finally, we're dealing with inflation. Now, we have high inflation right now. But even if we didn't have this, inflation happens every year. It goes up 1% to 3% every year. So that means 10 years from now, you're going to need more money in income, in an income plan. You're going to need more money coming in to maintain your lifestyle. So an income plan does what? Number one, it takes into consideration what could happen to your Social Security benefit. Number two, it takes into consideration the impact of increasing healthcare costs and inflation and taxes on your retirement plan. The sooner we start to help you build an income plan for retirement, whether you're 60 or 76, it doesn't matter. We can do this. The more control you have over your money, the more control you have over what you pay legally in taxes, the more control you have in guaranteeing your lifestyle for you and your spouse, to make memories in retirement, and to pass along what you work so hard for in the most tax-advantaged way to your family. So if what we've touched on is important to you, give us a call here at Cornerstone Retirement Partners, 616-301-2581, 616-301-2581. I'm Ron Corser. You can ask for our managing partner, Nolan Gosley, at 616-301-2581. We can help you now to prepare for that winter season coming down the road. And doesn't that make good sense? So thank you for listening. Again, if we've touched on anything you want to know more about, please give me or Nolan a call here at Cornerstone Retirement Partners, 616-301-2581. Look forward to talking to you again in the near future. Thank you.
Tune into Cornerstone Retirement Partners' full radio program, Your Course to Retirement, Sunday mornings at 9 o'clock at News Radio WOOD, or visit cornerstone-rp.com for many valuable resources, including those mentioned on this show and other great episodes of Your Course to Retirement.
The content of this radio show is provided for informational purposes only and is not a solicitation or recommendation of any investment strategy. You are encouraged to seek investment, tax, or legal advice from an independent professional advisor.
Ed Slott's Elite IRA Advisor Group is solely an indication that the financial advisor has attended training provided by Ed Slott and Company, passed biannual examinations on material covered at conferences and in webinars, and met other membership requirements, and does not constitute an endorsement of any kind. Ed Slott's Elite IRA Advisor Group members pay a fee for the educational programs that allow them to be included in the Ed Slott's Elite IRA IRA Advisor Group. Membership does not guarantee investment success. Fiduciary duty extends solely to investment advisory advice and does not extend to other activities such as insurance or broker-dealer services.
Advisory services offered through Brookstone Capital Management, a registered investment advisor.
Advisory clients are charged a quarterly fee for assets under management, while insurance products pay a commission, which may result in a conflict of interest regarding compensation.
Any investments and/or investment strategies mentioned involve risk, including the possible loss of principal. Any comments regarding safe and secure investments and guaranteed income streams refer only to fixed insurance products. They do not refer in any way to securities or investment advisory products. Annuity guarantees are based solely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing company. Withdrawals or growth from annuities may be taxable as ordinary income in the year it is taken. Individuals should review contracts for specific details of the product's features and costs. Early withdrawals may subject the owner to penalties, fees, or taxes.